not been very busy unless NetZipper gets on and starts doing his thing. Though, Steve, are you going to be able to run a node during this?
Yes. So I was actually working on getting prepared with the new version, and I'm kind of a newbie to GitHub. So last week I was working with Jeremy, who was kind of guiding me, but I deleted the old version of the file that I had, and I was following instructions that Jeremy provided to get the new .deb file, and I'm running in some issues. So perhaps I can get a lesson on getting files from the Git.
Okay. GitHub. Well, and also you can I've just put a link in the chat here. If you go to that page, there is a link to the binary to the deb that you would need for today, and so you can just use that if you'd like.
Okay.
And NetZipper, you're going to run a node?
Yeah, sorry, 5 minutes.
Okay, no, take your time.
Kelly, do you mind if I go ahead and merge the collect graph for proposed time?
No, yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Hey there, Chris.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, it's very exciting. We've got Steve is working on getting his node set up. NetZipper is taking a few minutes, and then we'll be able to join and start his node up. Our goal today is to validate that anyone joining what is right now quite a lively network is successful not only in connecting to Bootstrap, but also very promptly should observe the request and receipt of the approved block, the transition to the running state indicating that Casper is instantiated, and then observe peering following that. That is the most recent work that's gone in that should unblock people from making successful connections to testnet.
Very cool.
Steve, did you just try to join?
Well, I'm having some issues downloading the deb file.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking is somebody just tried to join and used the wrong network ID.
Oh, no, it wasn't me.
Not you. Okay.
I'm trying to join right now.
Okay. Did you use the wrong network ID?
No.
It's okay. Nobody has to own up to that.
I've reported several times the issue where the packets, the BTS file, are being filled in TMP. And it seems it's very hard to reproduce. But right now, Node 0 has 20 gigabytes of these files. So I guess I'm going to reopen it again.
That's interesting, Tomasz. Sebastian thought our chain 3279 would be done with PR 2481.
Yes. Apparently, it's still happening because of something else.
Oh, rats. Are you adding a note?
What do you mean?
Did you just reopen 3279?
Yes, I'm commenting on it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes, Steve. No. You need the, sorry. I had looked at the front part of your thing. You need the other part. So it would be, wait a second. That.
Okay, let me give that a try.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Does this node release support Faucet, or it is removed already?
No, it's not in this one.
Okay.
And it won't be. Really important. It won't be when we release 9.8 next week.
So how would we get tokens?
You can create Genesis Vault. Yours. There's this example in Rolang where you can create your own Genesis Vault and it.
Are we talking about that code that was written by you, or is some kind of another code?
And it was written by Arthur. Let me share it.
I think.
Yes, it's here.
The longer term plan for that is we'll launch testnet with Rev that we will send to people that need to use it. We being the processes people will post in Discord saying, please seed my Rev account, and somebody will send you Rev from the team.
Ah, sorry, I misunderstood about that code. I thought that it was written by you, Tomasz.
No, it was not.
But what, I was thinking that this is the faucet.
Oh,
Well, basically, you can create your own faucet with this, as far as I understand. Like you will create basically this finder create Genesis vault, it will create some vault, it will return address, and from this address you can distribute this token, which will be your token. Yeah.
that's correct. And that's different than the faucet that Pavel took out. The faucet was automatically funding bond wallets when we were testing bonding.
Oh, okay.
I'd actually be really surprised if anybody was using the original faucet.
Yeah, I actually haven't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
So just quick update on the testnet. So at 3 to 6 a.m. This morning, UTC, things started going south.
Mm-hmm.
So several things happened. All CPUs spend 20% of time in kernel, which means that there is some disk or network, lots of work of this kind. Then context switches per second switched from 1000 to 8000, which means there are lots of concurrent processes doing something. And interface traffic also started rising incredibly from less than 1 megabyte per second to 10 megabyte and still rising. And TCP connection left in time wait, which is, well, let's say improper close, rose from almost 0 to 3000. So everything indicates, and also at the time the BTS file started filing on the TMP directory. Yeah, also disk time went up. So something happened and proposed times went up along with that, I guess. Also memory jumped high.
Interesting.
You can clearly see the pattern in the link I just posted.
Love patterns.
And since we can kind of figure out the time where it started, we could grab the logs and see what event happened.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I had an error that gRPC connection was dropped in something like gRPC connection was dropped in the middle.
Yes.
So, yes.
Oh, yes. I'm so
a couple
excited
of
to talk
times.
about this. Excellent. Hold on. I'll tell you all about it. So we also observed this yesterday. I'm going to drop 2 tickets here in the chat.
I posted that in RNode Testing channel.
Okay. So both of these, 3571 and 3572, seem to be related. And what Pavel says is, in his early triage of it, from his perspective, it doesn't look like a serious problem. It looks like, number one, that the warn should be moved to the debug level because it's really not an issue for Node, not a blocking issue for Node, and that it's, what he shared yesterday was it's a normal thing that may happen in the network when a node started sending some message in a stream and then killed the stream for whatever reason. Could have killed the node, loss of network. The events are natural and will happen, and is nothing that is risky to the platform. And then he suggested he would move those warnings to debug level.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting to me, at least, that you saw it within the first 3 minutes of startup, right? That's a bird. Did you see it straight away?
Yes, I saw it recently. Recently, I would say, actually, it's rather rare message. I saw it only once, about a minute ago.
Mm-hmm. And was it soon after you started your node?
Not really.
Oh, okay. So you had been running a while and then saw it.
So I would say that I was running longer than after the message. I was running the node longer before the message than after the message. I'm running now.
Okay. Interesting. Steve, to your question, take a look at the sample run command on this wiki page. That's what you should do next.
How many blocks are right now in the network? So I wonder how much time will it take to sync?
It should take I think it'll take a bit of time. There are Bootstrap reports 135.
Is there anything that we can do to test while node is syncing?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, I think the good news is your node has started syncing, which means the key thing that we wanted to test right now is that in this busy network environment, you were able to, number one, connect to Bootstrap and receive the approved block, instantiate Casper, and then have peers. And are you successful in all those 4 points?
Yes, it was pretty fast.
Yeah. Okay. That's the that was the key thing that we wanted to make sure of, because that's something that we had run into problems with in this environment and with this group before some of the work that the Node team put in recently. To your question, are there other things that we can test? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, I know you're a pro at deploying Rolang, so there's no need to do that. Is there anything that comes to your mind?
Maybe we can do some conflicting deploys.
Okay.
So now nodes are auto-proposing some dummy Rolang code that doesn't do anything significant, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
It just creates COM events.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I will try to... I guess my script doesn't work because I have to change crypto functions. Actually, I have to only maybe change the generation of the vote. Okay. I'll try to do something.
Steve, how's it going on your end?
Yeah, okay, so I ran the sample run command,
Uh-huh.
and so I'm getting unhandled exception in thread. Well, a whole series of it failed essentially. So it doesn't look like I'm not getting any peers or any blocks or anything like that.
Ooh, can you either share your screen or share your?
Yeah, let me do that. Okay.
I can see.
I'm on. Can you see?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yikes.
So
Resolve,
let me
resolve,
come
resolve.
up here.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, hold on. Give me just a second to look.
There should be the rspace v2 key in the run command.
No, because it runs by default now in this version. You got the approved. Oh. Was your data directory cleared before you ran this, Steve?
That I don't know. So
do this.
okay.
Kill this node.
Okay. So let's see.
And do
So
you know how to find your .rnode file and erase it?
I'm pretty much starting from scratch on everything here.
Okay.
So to kill the node, so should I disconnect from my
Oh, you could
virtual
do,
machine?
no, you can do Control C.
Okay. Okay. I'm on an iPad, which
Okay.
adds another level of complexity to all this. I'm not in front of my
Okay.
normal computer, so
Sure, no worries.
so hopefully that's it looks a little bit different from usual when I do Control C.
Yeah, I would agree.
So let's see here. Let me
But
see.
basically, the reason I'm saying this is in your log it says that it found the Genesis. It found a Genesis block.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly you didn't. That's from a previous run of Node on a different network, and we need to get rid of that.
So maybe if how about if I just disconnect and reconnect?
You will still have to clear your .rnode directory because it persists. It's saved.
Okay. Well, when I'm doing my Control C,
Yeah, that's
it's
weird.
not the normal. Is there another? Let's see here.
Can we get the key pair in the plain text somehow now, because keygen needs private key path?
Give me a second.
Well, I'm going to unshare my screen and see if I can figure out how to do a Control C on.
Okay. So
on
yeah,
iPad,
see if you
so
can
bear
kill
with me.
see if you can kill your node, and then Dom has put it out in the chat that you're looking for the he put the path to the rspace, the node directory. Hey, Tomasz, can you give NetZipper one more key pair?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
So I just posted in sidebar what we should investigate or at least talk about tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, nice. Well done. Tomasz, do you agree or disagree that it appears weird that we have not been able to finalize a block beyond block 37 since yesterday? Right? No, we being none of the validators see anything beyond block 37 as final. All of them show more than 100 blocks.
At what time have this last finalization happened?
Like in the past hour.
At block 37.
So I ran last finalized block, for example, on node 0, and it reports the last finalized block is block 37, which is what it reported yesterday.
Yes. Let me see if it started in this time frame where everything started to slow down.
Okay.
I can. Okay, I will check it out.
Thank you.
Well, on the node 0, it actually says that the last finalized block is GD7F9, and it was finalized about 10 minutes ago or 1 hour ago. Okay.
That was me. And that's consistent across the validators. They're reporting that same finalized block and showing it as block number 37. But all of these validators also show over 130 blocks, which is, I guess that's what's surprising to me. Usually finalization is within several blocks of the block height. In other weirdness, I don't understand how my read-only node shows 299 blocks and the validators show 135.
Well, that's what node 9 has.
Oh, node 9 has 299?
Yes.
Oh.
1 hour ago.
I want to see.
Oh, I am not going to be here tomorrow, so that sidebar.
No, it's still we can still, I mean, we still will talk about it, and we won't be as brilliant as you. Well, that's probably why then the finalized block is so low, because validator 9 has 300 blocks and all of the other validators have less than 150. So there hasn't been there's no consensus. Exciting. How's it going on your end, Steve?
I'm logging into an iMac to see if I can figure out how to kill a process because
I imagined you tossing the ThinkPad against the wall.
yeah. So I'm gonna
Make
give
it
this
stop.
a try.
Make it stop. Okay.
Yeah.
Thomas, I'm trying to deploy to make a deploy with the private key from your file. The first string is private key and the second is public key, right?
Yes, correct.
So RNode says that invalid. Oh, let me dig a bit more. Maybe something wrong with my code.
Okay.
It said that it's wrong private key. It has a wrong length.
Are you sure you are running latest dev?
So he would be running yesterday's dev.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
The keys are the right algorithm.
Come again, please.
The keys are sec-p keys.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, good. It was my my issue.
What does it mean when blocks channel don't intersect?
You're seeing that in log. They don't intersect. And then is that message preceded by estimator helper?
Yes. Yeah, you mean like preceded by some line saying something else?
Uh-huh.
Let me check.
And not far, like maybe one line. It's a Casper thing. That is the short answer. The answer to your question is I don't know.
When they don't intersect, you can merge them. So there is no conflict between the blocks, and you can create a merge block.
Oh.
I see. Thanks.
If we had merging turned on.
We don't?
Do we?
I thought so, yeah.
I don't remember.
We can't propose on this release, right?
It's best not to. If you do propose, you're going to get a propose already in process because those validators are taking forever to propose right now.
Yeah, well, this last finalized block was created at 4 UTC yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And why is it the last finalized block? I don't know.
Okay. Mm.
Interesting. I tried to run RNode propose, and my console doesn't type anything like
Oh,
like with the thing with key again.
yes. Does that make sense to you? Is it? Do you have the? Is that? I'm not. I don't even know how to ask the question. I observed this too yesterday. I lost the ability to type multiple times over, doing a variety of different things.
Yeah.
Is that my computer's problem or is that a node problem?
I guess that it's not. It's RNode
Yes.
problem. So when I try to execute something on the command line with RNode, it breaks the console.
Yeah, I've had that. Oh man, it's so painful.
Yeah,
Tomash, your workaround works, but it's just a royal pain to not be able to type things.
Yes, it happened since we added the password encryption. It requires that on the console you don't see characters, you see only stars. And this requires messing with terminal settings, and you have to reset the terminal back to previous settings, and that's why it goes wrong somewhere.
Interesting. Does it surprise you that somebody might experience this problem and have not done anything related to keygen or entering the password?
Well, I'm not sure which code path is taken when you do propose. Perhaps that's the smart code, there's some branch, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I can tell you, I know for sure yesterday I did nothing. I did 0 proposes and I lost the ability to see my typing on a handful of occasions. So let me go back to Danyar and see if he has any other thoughts there. I was hoping it was just my machine. Oh boy.
RNode proposing at the moment because I deployed some code to Node 7. And I see signs of that deploy was accepted, but It is not being executed for about a minute or more.
Yes. So it's about, we have now proposes taken 1 hour. So
Oh, okay.
that's what are we talking about here?
So my plan won't work
No,
out.
it won't work out. But good news, we found the increased time to propose again. It didn't just magically go away. It's back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Okay, we have about 4 more minutes left. Steve, what's your status?
Yeah, I'm just struggling with simple things over here. I'm gonna, once I get back in front of my computer, I'm gonna run through everything, and it should be a little bit better.
Okay, no worries. I struggle with simple things all the time. It takes courage to muddle through. Okay, so let's. I am still really eager to leave the testnet as it is up and running. I'd like to give Steve some time to join it because I'm very particularly interested in making sure that he is able to get the approved block and be successful just in those very early moments of startup that we were having problems with earlier. I'm also curious to maybe reach out to others in the community to try the same. And then, from my perspective, if we can have several community testers who experience this problem before not experience this problem, we will just lay it to bed and be done with it. And then, of course, we will continue to investigate the ever increasing time to propose. Tamashi reopened the BTS ticket for Sebastian when he gets back, and I need to talk to Danyar about why I can't see my typing in a variety of scenarios. Is there anything else that we need to keep in mind from the session?
I can try to run a node from my laptop right now to see if this will work out while other node trying to connect.
Okay, cool.
When is Sebastian returning?
He's gone forever. Hold on, I'll tell you.
Oh, he's in calendar.
It is in the calendar. That's exactly where I was going to look.
Yes, he's gonna return. Oh,
Like through the end of the.
I see. I thought that maybe we could leave the testnet running because he's not able to investigate, and I understand because only time we can trigger this failure is here on testnet.
Oh, okay. Well, we can. We're not going to leave the same testnet running before he gets back. We'll have to bounce it.
One possibility is to stop it, backup files, and maybe when he returns, restart it for 1 day so we can show a proof.
Okay. Yeah, that works. But don't do that right now. Let's leave it up for a little bit. Messy as it is. I have a hunch that Node 9 or somebody deploying to Node 9 yesterday was creating a bunch of invalid blocks. And that's why it's so far ahead of the other validators. Because my node has a bunch of invalid blocks and matches what we see on validator 9.
And are we able to propose? I mean, you are running read only node, right?
Yeah.
So, well, if you had one invalid block, then any block on top of it would be also invalid. I mean, once you get invalid block, you cannot create another blocks. Is it correct?
That's my understanding, and I think that's what happened to validator 9.
Then how could it have so many blocks when it cannot create another one?
Oh. Can you create a chain of invalid blocks?
I think that you cannot. You will get some negative.
Oh, that's right, because the message says ignoring, doesn't it? Yeah. It is suspicious to me that validator 9 is so far ahead of the rest of the validators.
It sure is.
Did your node start up, NetZipper? Did you get the approved block?
I started it about 30 seconds ago. No approved block yet. I have 9 peers. I successfully sent a request. Now I'm removing peers from connections. Now I'm having that peers again available, but still not Genesis block.
Damn it. And you clearly see you clearly see the request sent to the Bootstrap node, yes?
Yeah, I will show you.
Do you see a peering to the Bootstrap node?
Do you see?
Yep.
Why doesn't it scroll?
I don't know. We've lost scrolling. Let's see the top.
20 peers.
Yeah, so I see something interesting.
Ooh, say more.
Just let me. Okay, so since about 3:18 a.m. today, the block receives and requests blocks about 10 times per second, every 5 seconds.
On every node?
Well, I'm looking at node 0, but
Node 0.
it seems it's similar on all of them. Actually, no, I was wrong. No, I was correct. But I guess that's not a problem.
Let's see what's happening with your node.
Yeah, I guess it is peering with the Bootstrap node. So I can see that my node is responded to protocol handshake with node 0. Then I see a number of peers increasing. And I see removing peers, arbitrary peers, node 8. Then I see them reconnected. So that's it. I don't see that node 0 give me Genesis block.
That's disappointing. Not in you, NodeZipper. I'm just disappointed.
Okay.
Well done executing your node that didn't get the Genesis block.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good information. Is it possible for you to let that run maybe for 15, 20 minutes and see if you do get it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, we're 5 minutes past the hour. We do need to stop here. Is there any last minute things that you want me to take away? All right, NetZipper, do plop into the into Discord if and when you get the Genesis block in the next hour. Let me
Yeah,
know.
sure.
And we will try again next week. Thanks everybody for the time today. Bye-bye.
So.
See ya.